Hi again, everyone. It's Post 22 Baseball on the air from Hamilton, Montana, as Post 22 gets set to take on the Bitterroot Red Sox. The second game of their 7-game, 7-day road trip here to the Great Northwest. And Post 22 comes into this game with a record of 7 wins in a row and an overall record of 28-3. In fact, the Hardhats have won 21 of their last 22 games. They're playing a Bitterroot Red Sox team that's in Class A ball here in Montana, but they're off to a good start. They've won 18 out of 21 games so far on the season. Beautiful day here in Hamilton. Temperature has been around 80 most of the day. We have partly cloudy skies. And Mark Benetti, I think that we're going to see an interesting ball game tonight. Coach Messer has juggled the lineup a bit, and we're going to see a very young pitcher throwing for Bitterroot.
And quite a test that is for the young Bryson Fisher. He should be very excited about that. This is going to be a challenging start. At the same time, he can learn so much from it. He can apply what he already knows to it. This is a great test for him to see where he stands and to set the table for competition that he can see later. Like we said, Tom, he's 14 years old, so he is not done with baseball by any stretch. So if he takes on a juggernaut like this and he does well, who knows what that means for the kid. So hats off to him. That's not an easy test he has in front of him.
Well, he's going to be pitching against a team that has a team batting average of .352 and is averaging 10.8 runs per game. So you talk about a challenge for any pitcher. I don't care if you're an 18-year-old and an all-star. It's a challenge to face this lineup, but to be 14 years old and face a post-22 team that's just been tremendous offensively through their first 31 games. Well, I see the men in blue, or in black as the case may be, have arrived. The umpires have arrived. The coaches are going to meet with them at home plate. We'll take a look at these starting lineups.
So let's take a look at what the Hardhats have in store. They're batting in the top halves of the innings we have in regulation in front of us. Leading off for the Hardhats is number 11, Walker Paz, as always at his home at second base. Batting second is number 13, Zach Solano. He is patrolling center field this time around. Batting third, number 22, Cooper Bowman, as always at shortstop. And in the cleanup position tonight is number 28, Zach Sumption, and tonight he will patrol right field. Batting fifth is number 31, Luke Ferdinand. He's playing at first base. Batting sixth is number 30, Jack Sorensen. He'll be the designated hitter tonight for the Hardhats. Batting seventh is number 17, Todd Stevens, getting the start at catcher over Timmy Paris. Batting eighth is number 16, Tommy Wall, in a surprise twist playing left field today. And rounding out the batting order for the Hardhats in the ninth spot is number 15, Carter Deming. He is in the hot corner at third base. Dylan Ritchie is on the mound today for Post 22. He will make his first career start in a Hardhats uniform. However, today will be his fifth appearance on the year for Post 22 on the mound. 5 1/3 innings of work under his belt, 4 strikeouts to 3 walks with a 6.56 ERA. And you can't really look into the ERA too much there, Tom, because he's only had 5 innings of work under his belt, so 6.5, that's kind of inflated. Dylan Ritchie on the mound will take on the Bitterroot Red Sox lineup in the bottom halves of our innings of regulation as follows. Leading off is number 1, Cameron Rothy. He is playing at second base. Batting second is number 3, Tanner Gologowski. He is in the hot corner at third. Batting third is number 29, Tyler Nixon. He is at shortstop. And in the cleanup position is number 13, Hunter Omlid. He's playing at first base. Batting fifth is number 16, Brendan Fisher. He's the designated hitter tonight for the Bitterroot Red Sox. Batting sixth is number 19, Justin Katanock. He is patrolling right field. Batting seventh is number 25, Matthew Brown. He is the backstopper and catcher. Batting eighth is number 5, Lad Granfell, patrolling left field. And rounding out the batting order for Bitterroot in the ninth spot is number 8, Tucker Jones. He is patrolling center field. And as we talked earlier, Tom, Bryson Fisher is the starting pitcher for the Bitterroot Red Sox, a young 14-year-old. He's got a very tough test in front of him, but it should make for one heck of a baseball game today.
So Mitch Messer getting some memories here. He's coached against this team before. Mitch kind of baseball history, of course, in Montana. There are 2 Bitterroot teams. They split several years ago. One is in Florence, and this one here in Hamilton. Mitch actually coached the team in Florence for a couple of years, and then, of course, coached in Missoula, and then also coached in Bozeman. So he's well-versed with all of these ballparks. This is really a nice old-style grandstand. It's a covered grandstand. It's made out of wood. It looks like it possibly could have been a WPA project way back in the 30s. And this will be one of the more interesting fields that we will play on this year from the standpoint of dimensions. Let's look down the left field line. It's only 310 feet down the foul line. And the home of the Red Sox here, they have created a mini Fenway Park Green Monster. It's 18 feet high. It runs from the 310 all about to left center field. And then it continues with advertising signs about 18 feet all the way to deep left center. But straight down the line to the foul pole, only 310. If you look at the straightaway center field, no question this will be the shortest park we play in. 335 to center field. 335. And then down the right field line, actually, it's 340. So pulling the ball right down the line would be the at least the parts that they have measured off here for us, 340 feet. And so, Mark, I don't know. This could be a game in which the hitters look at that and say,
their mouths are watering right now. I think a guy like Zach Solano and Cooper Pullman, they are salivating looking at the dimensions of 335 to dead center and 310 to left. Now, granted, you are correct. They do have the mini green monster there, so that will need to be accounted for with these power hitters. But nonetheless, this could make for some very interesting baseball tonight. I mean, Tom, I think back at our heyday, you and I could both hit straight away 335. So should be quite the showcase tonight offensively.
Are you counting us each hitting and then adding each of them together to get to that 335?
Oh, don't underestimate those biceps you keep showing off on these road trips. Come on.
It's not me and my biceps. It's you and the Todd Stevens batting average you carry around of 540 now or whatever it is that Todd's just trying to beat your old record for batting.
526 is actually what he's coming into the ball game with.
Okay, well, see, you were 540, weren't you?
Yeah, in T-ball I was, yeah.
Well, they're introducing the starting lineups here in Hamilton, Montana. Town of about 10, 12,000. And as we said, a Class A team, but a very good Class A team with that fine record that they have. It's obviously natural grass, but they do have the old style stand, as we talked about, a covered grandstand. We are located right behind home plate, and we're not that far behind the plate. We're elevated just a little bit, and they have the path that leads from home plate, dirt path, all the way out to the mound, which you'll see sometimes in the old style ballparks. But it's almost like being at an old little Fenway Park here with the green monster and the covered grandstand.
And if we wanted to, we could high-five the fans, too. We're sitting right amongst them. We have the national anthem coming up, folks. We'll be right back with first pitch between the Bitterroot Red Sox and your Post-22 Hard Hats. You're listening to ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Second game on this road trip for Post 22, and we'll head back to Missoula, stay there tonight. The team heads out tomorrow morning, and will arrive in Pullman, Washington tomorrow. And they have a game tomorrow night. It's a game that's scheduled against Crew, and that's scheduled for 8 p.m. in Pullman, which means it'll be a 9 p.m. starting time back home in Rapid City. And that tournament begins tomorrow, and Post 22 will have single games Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday's game is scheduled for 4 p.m. Rapid City time, Fridays at 2 p.m., Saturdays at 4 p.m., and then Sundays to be determined. We'll have all of the games here on Hardhats-TV via post22baseball.com. And tomorrow night we'll also be on the air with the Crew game on ESPN Radio shortly before 9 p.m.
Well, taking his warm-up pitches now is Bryson Fisher, the young 14-year-old right-hander who you and I talked earlier, Tom. He's getting thrown into quite the mix tonight against Post 22, but it should be a good test for the young gentleman, and I hope that he's excited and he's looking forward to it. Defensively around him, he was paired up with his battery mate and catcher, Matthew Brown. At first is Hunter Omelette. At second is Cameron Rothy. At shortstop's Tyler Nixon. In the hot corner at third for Bitterroot is Tanner Gologowski. Left to right in the outfield, Ladd Granfell, Tucker Jones, and Justin Kadanak.
So Brian Fisher almost complete with his warm-ups. Post 22 is wearing their baby blue tops with gray pants for the game tonight. Haven't seen that combination. At least I can't remember. I know they have, but I can't remember the combination for a while. All white uniforms with red accessories for this Bitterroot Red Sox team. Imagine that, red accessories for the Red Sox.
Can't say I'm a fan of the Red Sox, Tom. Growing up as a young boy in New York who bled pinstripes, this is interesting for me. I see Red Sox everywhere. I see the script B. I see just Red Sox paraphernalia. I'm a little in enemy territory, I guess you could say.
See, the Red Sox will haunt you no matter where you travel in this nation. Who would have ever thought you would be haunted by the Red Sox in Hamilton, Montana?
After they broke that curse of the Babe, I definitely feel like I was haunted. That was unfortunate to see the streak come to an end at, 86 years, I think it was. It was 86 years? From 1918 to 2004. I don't know if I ever told you the story, but my grandmother, my mom's mother, she, from Massachusetts her whole life, grew up idolizing the Red Sox. They win it in 1917. She's born in 1918, passes away 2003. They win in 2004. She never got to see them win it.
Walker Paz leading off, and the first pitch is a ball down low from Bryson Fisher, and we are underway at 6:11 this evening, and the temperature here in Hamilton is 85 degrees. And there's a strike on the outside corner. Fisher with a count of 1-1. Walker hitting .417 on the season. He has one home run. He's driven in 19 runs. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, and it's popped foul, back and out of play. And the count goes to 1-2. Walker has 10 doubles on the season to go along with his home run. Playing pretty much straight away in the outfield. Again, it can be very deceiving with the short space in the outfield. Walker, it's a line drive into right center field for a base hit. Jones over to pick the ball up, and the ball skips past him and rolls all the way to the fence in right center field. Walker will head for third base and go in standing. So Paz with a leadoff single, and most likely an error then on the center fielder Jones. So a single and an error puts a runner at third base for Rapid City, and the batter is Zach Solano.
It was interesting to watch Walker when he turned second. It looked like he may have tweaked something on the way. He was gingerly going into third. Hopefully he's all right. He's still there right now, but something to keep an eye on for later.
Zach hitting .359, and the first pitch is down low and outside for ball one. Solano leading the team in home runs with 6. He's knocked in 39 runs, which leads the team. Infield is back, and the outfield is straight away. Here's the set by Fisher. The pitch on the way, a swung on, chopped foul off to the left, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Mentioned Post 22's .352 team batting average, which equals their season high, and their runs per game at just under 10.9. 1-1 pitch. Solano takes it lone outside. The ball squirts away, and Walker Paz is going to score. Walker read that very well, and he trots home and scores the first run of the game. So here's Solano now with a count of 2 balls and a strike. Base is empty now. That error has proved costly. Pitch on the way, and it's outside and low. So the count is 3 balls and 1 strike with Cooper Bowman on deck. Fisher into his windup, the pitch on the way, and it's swung on, hit on the ground to the right of second and on into center field for a base hit. Jones fields this ball, and Solano has the second hit for Post 22. He's on at first with nobody out, and it brings up Cooper Bowman.
By the way, Tom, with Walker Paz scoring the run there for the Hardhats, that's now the 26th time in the last 34 innings the Hardhats have played that they have successfully registered a run. Like you said earlier, the offense is just firing on all cylinders. And that's dating back to the start of the Black Hills Classic.
Cooper Bowman leading the team in hitting at .462 and takes a breaking ball in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Cooper with 10 doubles, 4 triples. He's hit 3 home runs and knocked in 37 runs. Fisher working out of the set. Here's the pitch. Down low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one on Cooper. Leads the team also in stolen bases with 20. Here's the set by Fisher and the right-hander's pitch. It's a ball to throw to second on a steal attempt and safe at second base. Close play, Solano just beat the tag, and he gets his 12th steal of the season. So Bowman up now with a runner at second base. Fisher works from the set. He delivers. And it's a strike just on the outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Solano off of second. Pitch to Bowman. Swung on a high fly ball out into left field. That's deep, and that is way back out there, and it's foul. Just foul. Well, it's only 3:10 down the foul line here, and Cooper almost got it out, but it just turned foul, and the count runs along at 3-2. I've seen this over the years. They've corrected the count to 2-2 now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way, and it swung on, hit the right field, a base hit through the right side of the infield. Solano will be held at third, and there are runners at the corners. Nobody out.
Well, the beat keeps rolling, Tom. That's now back-to-back singles to start off this ball game. Walker Paz was the beneficiary of an E8. That allowed him to take third. Zach Solano got the stolen base. That allowed him to eventually move to third on this most recent single. So the Hardhats are sticking to what's working. They're hitting the ball well. Most importantly, they're seeing it well. And you can't hit well if you can't see it, as obvious as that sounds. But these guys have an eye for offense right now.
Sumption hitting .426. 2 home runs for Zach, 22 RBIs. Here's the set by Fisher. His pitch on the way, and it swung on, lined out to center field. Another base hit. In to score comes Solano, and Cooper Bowman stops at second. Sumption drives in his 23rd run of the season. That's 4 straight hits to start the game for Post 22. Here's Luke Ferdinand, the first baseman. Brown, the catcher, goes out to talk with Fisher. Ferdinand is hitting .300. 3 doubles and 9 RBIs.
Good on Zach Sumption to get back on the horse and hit the ball again. It's been a while since he's had a real good quality hit, which is a shame because at one point in time he had hit in 11 consecutive games and then just kind of went on a little bit of a dry spell.
Here's Ferdinand at the plate as Fisher sets and delivers. And it's high for a ball. It's kind of funny, the teams hit 27 home runs in their 31 games. Smallest ballpark of the year. What do you want to bet we don't hit one tonight?
Right.
Which is okay. I mean, sometimes that dimensions can really throw hitters off as a breaking ball misses outside and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Omelette playing a deep first in back of Sumption. The pitch on the way, and it is a strike. Ladder high in the outside corner. 2-1 on Ferdinand. Sumption at first, Bowman at second. What breeze we have seems to be blowing across the field from the right field pole to the left field pole. And there's a strike. And the count to Ferdinand now is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Galagowski, the third baseman, close to the line at third. A big hole on the left side of the infield. Shortstop's shaded over towards second. The pitch is swung on. Hit off the pitcher. It deflects to the second baseman on the infield dirt, and all hands are safe. A shot right back through the box that nailed Fisher and deflected over towards the second baseman between first and second. And the bases are loaded.
Solid hit by Luke there, and that was just a protective swing because he threw his hands at it. Because Fisher's been living on that outside corner. He's been getting a lot of strike calls there, so obviously Ferdinand went and adjusted, tried to protect, threw his hands at the ball, but he got a boatload of power behind that, ended up hitting Fisher right on the mount. So it's a good thing he's all right. He didn't seem fazed by it at all, but now there's a big conference out here just trying to get everybody to buy into whatever defensive alignment the Bitterroot Red Sox are going to run because the Hardhats have a 2-0 lead. Every base is occupied, and still, Tom, there are no outs registered yet. So the Hardhats can keep piling it on for a massive inning here.
Jack Sorensen up, right-handed batting designated hitter. Jack hitting .353. 2 home runs and 27 RBIs. Well, the bases are loaded. This is Jack's moment here as Fisher swings into his windup. Here's his pitch. And it's a strike on the outside corner. 1 strike on Sorensen, who has 4 doubles to go along with those 2 grand slams. Bowman at third, Sumption at second, Ferdinand at first. 2 runs in for post 22 here in the top of the first. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Took some speed off that pitch. Had Jack swinging, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Todd Stevens, the catcher, is the on-deck batter for the Hardhats. 2 strikes on Sorensen. Here's the windup by Fisher. The pitch on the way, and it skips to the plate. Blocked by the catcher Brown. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mitch Messer, the head coach, in the third base box for post 22. Jason Hers coaching at first. Jason also serves as the pitching coach for post 22. Here's the pitch on the way. Breaking ball hangs inside. So that evens the count off to Sorensen now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. 5 straight singles have started this game for Rapid City. 2-2 on Sorensen. Here's the pitch on the way. And it's outside, and the count goes full now, 3-2.
Well, good on Jack to battle back from being down 0-2, including a swing and a miss on a breaking pitch low. So he's battled back. His patience has paid off. Big payoff pitch coming up.
Here it is. Breaking ball. And they ruled it high for a ball. Sorensen draws a walk. In all honesty, that looked like an awfully good pitch to me, Mark.
I absolutely agree, Tom. I think Jack got away with larceny there on that. So an RBI base on balls gives the Hardhats a 3-0 lead. We're still juiced for Todd Stevens.
Yeah, that was a pretty good pitch. Here's Todd Stevens, the catcher. Todd 10 for 19 on the season. Takes a pitch outside for a ball. One ball and no strikes. Base is still loaded. Fisher starts his windup, and here's his pitch. Down low, and it's 2-0. Paz, Solano, Bowman, Sumption, and Ferdinand, all with singles. And Sorensen with his walk. 3 runs are in. 2-0 the count on Stevens. Here's the pitch. And that breaking ball is in for a strike, and it's 2-1. Todd with 4 doubles on the season, 1 home run. That 10 for 19 equates to 526. Here's the pitch on the way. And it's high and inside. 3-1 now on Todd Stevens. Outfield is straight away. Here's the windup by Fisher and his pitch. Swung on, and it's popped foul in back of the plate, and it's going to be out of play. Stevens has a full count with the bases loaded here. Here's the windup by Fisher. The pitch on the way, and he misses outside. So Stevens draws a walk. He'll get his 11th RBI of the year as Sumption scores. Ferdinand to third now. Sorensen to second. Stevens at first. And here's Tommy Wall, who is playing in left field in the game tonight. Tommy hitting .314 on the season. 11 hits in 35 at-bats. Takes a fastball high. He's got 3 doubles and 10 RBIs. Tommy, of course, his last 2 appearances on the mound, 1 in relief, 1 a start. Outstanding. A couple of shutout appearances. Here's the pitch on the way. And that's in at the knees for a strike. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
As a matter of fact, Tom, in Tommy's last start, he had a no-hitter going well into the 4th inning of a 7-inning game. So he kept a shutout streak of 8 innings between 2 starts, or 2 appearances, I should say, alive at that point.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball high. And he only allowed 1 hit in those. He had his 4 1/3 inning no-hit, no-run relief appearance against Premier West in Denver. Here's the pitch to Wall. Swing and a chopper foul down and back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carter Deming at third base. He's on deck. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Wall. Runners at every base for post 22 here in the 1st inning. They lead 4-0. The pitch on the way. Swung on, another chopper foul at the plate. And it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just to repeat those dimensions, if you just tuned in, it's 310 down the left field line, 335 to straightaway center, 340 down the right field line. The big green monster in left field, 18 feet high. There's a drive to center field. Jones going to his right to make the catch in left center field for the out. Tagging up and coming home to score is Luke Ferdinand. Good catch by Jones. As he got over into left center field. It's a sacrifice fly for Tommy Wall. He'll get an RBI. There's the first out of the inning. And it brings up Carter Deming, the third baseman. For Tommy Wall, his 11th RBI.
Good piece of hitting by Tommy. That was a deep at-bat, a very deep count. He chopped off a couple, and he still, even though he got recorded out, still earned another run on the board for the Hardhats to make it 5-rip.
Carter Deming takes a strike on the outside corner. Carter 171 on the season. He's had 6 hits in 35 at-bats. All of his 6 hits have been singles, and he's driven in 5 runs. Very fine defensive player, Carter Deming. Here's the pitch. Swung on and a foul off to the right out of play. No balls and 2 strikes on Deming. Sorensen at second, Stevens at first with 1 out. 5 runs in for post 22 here in the top half of the first inning. The Bitterroot Red Sox. Here's the set and the 0-2 pitch. Very high. Brown jumped up to grab it, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Post 22 batting around here in the first inning. The pitch on the way. Swung on, bounced foul off to the left.
It's been a while since Carter has seen the batter's box for this Hardhats club, Tom. So for him, patience is going to be the key. I know you want to go out. I know you want to start swinging away and immediately contribute. Let the pitches come to you. Utilize that good eye that you have. Make solid contact on the ball.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Carter Deming. Leading from second is Sorensen. Stevens from first. The pitch on the way. It hits him. So Deming will go down to first base, hit by a pitch. And that loads the bases. So here's Walker Paz, who started this whole inning off with a single to right center. And then he advanced all the way to third when the ball skipped by the center fielder Jones trying to field it out there. As it turned out, the error really wasn't costly because post 22 had 5 consecutive hits to start the game. They've also had 2 walks in the inning and a hit batsman. Bases loaded, the pitch to Paz. It is a ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. And the 1-0 pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike the count. Here's the pitch on the way, and it is a ball down low. 2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1 pitch. Low and outside, 3-1. Walker with a count of 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the windup by Fisher. The pitch on the way, and it's swung on. Line to first, caught by Omelet, and he touches first base for a double play. Paz lines to the first baseman Omelet, who caught Deming off the bag by about 10 feet and had an easy, unassisted double play. And that ends the first inning for post 22. And they end up scoring 5 runs in the first inning on 5 hits. There was 1 Bitterroot error and 2 men left on base. So at the end of the first half inning of play, the Hardhats 5, the Red Sox are coming to bat. You're listening to Post 22 Baseball from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Great faces, great places. Wet paint? Yep. And around here, when great places need a little love, great faces band together. Each year, First Interstate Bank employees help local organizations put a fresh coat of paint on homes of those in need. A small gesture, perhaps, but one that puts smiles on faces and strengthens bonds in the places we serve. First Interstate Bank. It's you and I together.
Back here in Bitterroot, it's 5-0 post 22 as Dylan Ritchie takes the mound for post 22. Mitch Messer bringing 20 players on this road trip. Dylan was called up in the later for the Classic Black Hills Superior Siding Classic last week, and getting a chance here to start this game against the Bitterroot Red Sox.
Dylan comes in with 5 1/3 innings of work under his belt. His 5th appearance of the season, but it's his first by virtue of a start 4 strikeouts to 3 walks, and a 6.56 ERA. Post 22 defensive alignment around him features Todd Stevens. Paired up with him as his catcher. At first is Luke Ferdinand. Second, Walker Paz. Shortstop, Cooper Bowman. And in the hot corner at third is Carter Deming. Left to right in the outfield, Tommy Wall, Zach Solano, and Zach Sumption.
They tore up the mound, as we understand it, last night. They rebuilt it, and we've noticed, it seems to me, it's very low. I don't know if that's just my imagination, but it looks low to me. And the pitchers, even Dylan Ritchie now, doing a lot of manicuring on the mound as you come down with your stride foot. So I'm not sure that the mound is probably in the greatest condition. We'll see how Ritchie handles it.
Well, Tom, this is the closest that you and I have been to the field in calling. Probably, maybe the only other place who would have been closer was on the Billings road trip. But I will say that I do agree with you. That mound does look awfully short. So that could play a factor. Hopefully it doesn't throw Dylan off too much.
Cameron Rothy up to second baseman. He's a right-handed batter to lead things off for the Red Sox here. Ritchie delivers. Swung on a little looper to left field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit in front of left fielder Wall. So Rothy with a bloop single to left, and the leadoff man is on, and that brings up number 3, Tanner Galagowski. Tanner Galagowski, the third baseman up. Tanner's your third baseman tonight for the Red Sox. He's a right-handed batter. And Luke Ferdinand will now hold with the runner at first base. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, a bouncing ball wide at third. Goes to shortstop Bowman. He'll have to make the play to first base, and it's good for the out. Deming roaming to his left couldn't get to the ball. Then Bowman to his right did. Short to first to get Galagowski. That moves Rothy to second and brings up Tyler Nixon, the shortstop. And this is the Red Sox best player, their shortstop, Tyler Nixon. Here's the pitch on the way, and a fastball strike called knee high on the outside corner from Ritchie.
Dylan's got a very fast release. The second he takes his stride, the ball's out of his hand. It's not more slow and deliberate like other pitchers that we've seen.
Here's the set now by Ritchie. A look back at second, the pitch. And a fastball is down low, and it's 1-1 on Nixon.
You know, normally there's that pronounced kick or there's that pronounced turn or they take their time out on the mound. Dylan's very quick to work, and the second he makes his motion, that ball's right out of his hand.
Right-handers from the set. He delivers. And a breaking ball is high, and it's now 2-1 on Nixon. Outfield straightaway, playing much deeper than the Bitterroot outfield played in the top half of this inning. And the pitch is low, and it's 3-1 now on Tyler Nixon. 5-0, post 22 leading the Bitterroot Red Sox batting here in the bottom of the first inning. 3-1 on Nixon with Rothy at first base. At second base, I should say, with one out. Here's the pitch. It's too high for ball 4. So runners at first and second. Hunter Omelet up, the first baseman. Right-handed batter. Caught that line drive off the bat of Walker Paz to end the first inning when he was able to double off Deming from first. An unassisted double play for the first baseman. He's up now with 2 on and 1 out. The pitch swung on, line down the right field line. It's going to be a fair ball by a foot or two. Sumption picks the ball up in foul territory as Rothy scores. Nixon goes to third. And Omelet has a stand-up double just fair down the right field line. So it's 5-1, the Hardhats leading. DH Brennan Fisher up, right-handed batter, with runners at second and third and one out. Ritchie from the set. He delivers. And he misses low and outside. Ball one. So 2 hits and a walk here. Dillon's in a jam in the first inning. Here's the stretch. The pitch. And a breaking ball in for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Todd Stevens doing the catching tonight. Flashes the sign. Here's the pitch on the way. A hard ground ball to short. Fielded by Bowman. Another run will score as Cooper throws to first for the out. Fisher retired short to first, but he gets credit for an RBI as Nixon scores. Omelet goes to third. 5-2, Hardhats. Here is Justin Katnack, the right fielder. Katnack, a right-handed batter. And he hits a foul off to the left on the ground. 1 strike. Five runs for the Hardhats here in the first, and now 2 for the Red Sox. And they still have a runner at third with 2 out. The pitch. Katnack takes a strike at the letters. And it's 0-2. He's hitting 6th in the order for Bitterroot. Here's the set. And the pitch. Swung on, poked to right field, and that's going to drop for a hit. Sumption fields the ball as Omelet scores. It's now a 5-3 Rapid City lead. Katnack coming up with an RBI single. Here's Matthew Brown, the catcher up. Number 7 hitter, right-handed batter. Katnack at first base, 2 outs. And Ferdinand holding with him. So the Red Sox coming back with 3 runs on 3 hits and a walk here in this first inning. Here's the set by Ritchie. His pitch, check swing, and it's a strike. 0-1 the count. Ritchie from the stretch. He delivers, and it's low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dillon works from the stretch, whether there's a windup or not, or a man on base or not. He started the game out of the stretch. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it gets away from Stevens, and the runner goes to second. And now they have called a balk. Apparently they called a balk on Ritchie.
Don't think I saw a balk, to be honest with you.
Well, you know, the runner going to second kind of stopped and just kind of walked halfway from first and second the last half. And nobody seemed really urgent, neither catcher Stevens or anybody else, to get to the ball. Matt Brown at the plate, the pitch. And that's a strike called. Low outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Five to 3. Post 22 leading here in the bottom of the first inning. Now time is called, requested by the hitter Brown. There are 2 outs in the inning. Katnack at second base. Ritchie's pitch, swung on, hit down the right field line. That's slicing off, and it is a foul ball. Only a foot or so foul. Very close down the foul line. That would have been interesting to see a replay on.
Well, it definitely was a foul ball, Tom. I definitely saw green between the white of the ball and the white of the line. It was an awfully close play, but it was a foul ball. So
First base coach, I don't think, would agree with you on that. He's jawing at the home plate umpire. The other interesting thing, Mark, was that Sumption ran for the ball, gathered, and he fired it in towards second, like he was playing it as a fair ball, which you have to do. But
right.
I do think you're right. I from my vantage point, it looked like it was just foul, but the first base coach held out his hand saying, here's Richie for another pitch. And it's high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the set and the pitch on the way. And it's low and inside, ball 4. So Brown down to first base. And that brings up Lad Grenfell, the left fielder, the 8th man to hit for Bitterroot here in the first inning, left-handed batter. So 2 on, 2 out, 3 runs in a wild first inning here. Richie's pitch, and it's high for a ball, and it's 1-0. Richie's walked 2 in this inning. That hasn't helped. Given up 3 hits. Ferdinand playing a deep first in back of Brown. Katanak leads from second. Here's the set. And Richie's pitch. High for a ball. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Richie ready. The 2-0 offering. And it's high for ball 3. 3-0. Tucker Jones, the center fielder, on deck. Three balls and no strikes. And the pitch is ball 4 outside. Granfell walks. He goes to first base. Third walk of the inning for Richie, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs for Tucker Jones. Walker Paz comes in from second base to talk with Richie. No activity from the dugout as far as post 22. Tucker Jones, the center fielder, he's a left-handed batter. 5-3, post 22 leading here in the bottom of the first, but the Red Sox have the bases runners at second and third, and the pitch is high. That's ball 4. That brings Jason Hers out to the mound. Todd Stevens joins the conversation.
Be interesting to see what Coach Hers is going over with Dylan right now. Obviously, Dylan's lost a little control. He started off fairly well, and then he gave up the base on balls, then the double, got the second out. All he needed to do was bear down. He hasn't done that just yet. He's given up an RBI single, back-to-back walks, and all of a sudden he's got the bases juiced.
So here's Jones, a right-handed batter. Number 9 hitter playing in center field. The base is loaded and 2 out. Richie sets and delivers. Check swing, and the pitch is inside, ball 1. Richie ready again with a 1-0 pitch. It's on the way. It's a strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. Bases loaded. Pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ritchie's able to work ahead of Jones. 3 runs on 3 hits here for Bitterroot in the first inning, plus 3 walks. Ritchie ready. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out, and that retires the side. But 3 runs score for Bitterroot in the first inning as they sent 9 men to the plate. They had 3 hits, and they had 3 men left on base. No post-22 errors. End of 1. Hardhats 5, Red Sox 3 on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Camping World is here to help you connect to adventure and explore the outdoors with friends and family, offering new and pre-owned RVs to fit every budget and thousands of parts and accessories for any need. Camping World has it all. With over 125 supercenters nationwide, you're never far from America's #1 RV dealer. No matter where your adventures take you, whether you need an RV, parts, or service, Camping World is here to help you every step of the way. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Well, we have a new pitcher for the Bitterroot Red Sox here in the top half of the second. Coming in from right field and pitching is Justin Kadanak. So Kadanak is the new pitcher. And we have Richardson, Garrick Richardson, going to right field. So Garrick Richardson to right field. And the new pitcher, Justin Kadanak. Zach Solano will lead off for Rapid City here on the top of the second inning, and post 22 leading by a score of 5-3. Solano singled to center in the first inning, came around to score. Right-handed batter. So Justin Kadanak, the new pitcher. So Solano steps in. We're ready to go once again here in the second inning. Kadanak into the windup. Here's his pitch, and it is a ball. Strike, I'm sorry, on the outside corner, and it's no balls and 1 strike. So Kadanak is now pitching, and Garrick Richardson gone to right field for the Red Sox. 1 strike count, and the pitch on the way. Breaking ball, line foul over the head of Mitch Messer in the third base coach's box, and the count is 2 strikes. Cooper Bowman on deck, and then Zach Sumption to follow. Play Zach straight away in the outfield. Here's the pitch on the way. Oh, that got away from Kadanak. Up over his head for a ball. And now the catcher is going to run the ball back out. And they have a conversation on the mound. One ball and 2 strikes. Here's the motion by Kadanak and his pitch. Rolling outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Solano. A long first inning, which Rapid City came out of with a 5-3 lead. The pitch to Solano, line foul again down the left field line. Still 2-2 on Zach. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Inside. A full count, 3-2. One inning pitching for Fisher as Solano hits a ground ball to deep short, backhanded by Nixon. Here's his long throw to first, on target. Good play there by Nixon. We heard he was a good ball player, and he kind of went to his right, backhanded it, and showed a good arm there in throwing out Solano short to first. Here's Cooper Bowman up, who singled to right in the first inning, scored a run. One out, nobody on, top half of the second. Here's Kadanak's pitch. And a fastball strike at the knees over the inside corner. And the 1-strike pitch. Breaking ball outside in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cooper came in as the team's top hitter at .462 with his single. There it goes. Deep left field. Way back out there. A home run for Bowman. Number 4 for Cooper. Over the left field fence. A no-doubter, and it's a 6-3 Rapid City lead here in the top of the second.
Well, Tom, think about this. Back in the first inning, Cooper had a chance to hit a home run, just hooked it foul by maybe a couple of feet. This time, he doesn't make the same mistake. Great contact, like you said, no doubter, and he touched them all.
Zach Sumption singled to center, knocked in his 23rd run in the first inning. And a breaking ball up over his head. 1 ball, no strikes. So a 6-3 Rapid City lead, their 6th hit of the game. Pitch on the way, and it's a ball down low, and it's 2-0. 1 out. Sumption hitting cleanup tonight. Here's the pitch. Line to left field, and Granfell misplays it. The ball is over his head, bounces off the fence in left field, and Sumption will end up at second. A line shot to left field, and Granfell couldn't read it right away off the bat, and it's going to be a double for Sumption. His 5th double of the year.
Now, something that these Hardhats hitters have to start taking into account is because of these short dimensions, just because it burns the fielder doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be extra bases. I think if Granfell got on his horse, he could have had a very close play at second trying to get Sumption to stretch that into a double. So just something to be mindful of, considering that Sumption hit that to left. That's 310.
Here's a runner going to third, and Kadanak never even threw the ball to third. Sumption was only maybe 2/3 of the way to third base when the throw could have been made. There's a line drive to center. That'll be in for a base hit for Ferdinand, and he drives in a run. Sumption scores, and it's now 7-3. Luke's 2 for 2. That's his 10th RBI of the season. Here's Jack Sorensen up. That was really odd.
I gotta agree with that, Tom, because he didn't even react. Sumption was dead to rights going to third. He didn't even react.
Well, he looked at him and didn't throw the ball. Pitches a ball outside, 1-0 to Jack Sorensen. Jack walked with the bases loaded in the first inning. Couple of runs in here now for Post 22 in the top of the second. They lead 7-3. There's a hard ground ball to Nixon. He's got it. Throws to second for one. On to first for the double play. Sorensen bounces into a 6-4-3 double play. Bitterroot has their second double play in as many innings to win the first and second innings. 2 runs on 3 hits for post 22. No errors and nobody left on base. Last of the second coming up from the Anytime Auto Sales press box. We're in Hamilton, Montana tonight. Post 22 leads the Bitterroot Red Sox 7-3 as we head to the bottom of the second here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
With more than 300 pediatric experts in 35 specialty areas, Sanford Children's offers the care that matters to your family. At the Castle of Care, we are committed to bringing in the latest and most advanced technology and services to care for your children. And having the largest team of specialists in the region means your child can receive expert, individualized care close to home. At Sanford Children's, we promise to put your family first. To learn more, visit childrens.sanfordhealth.org.
Well, Dylan Ritchie comes out for the second inning here. He was tagged for 3 runs on 3 hits. He walked 3 in that first inning. But post 22 had scored 5 to give him a nice cushion. Now it's 5-3. Then post 22 came back with 2 in the second to make it 7-3. So Ritchie's got a little breathing room again. Cameron Rothy up, the second baseman.
By the way, I want to give a quick shout out to everybody back home at Native Grill and Wings back in Rapid City watching the game. I've been told there's a big party out there at good old Colin Hofer's establishment. So hello to everybody back home following us on Pee Wee's great adventure of this week-long road trip.
You mean the home run king in post 22 history for a single season.
20 in a single campaign, that is correct.
Ryan Hansen, I must mention that. He's the all-time career leader with 29. There's a swing and a little pop-up in the shallow right center, and Paz goes out to grab it. So Rothy, first ball hitting off Ritchie, pops to second. 1 down, and that brings up Tanner Galagowski, the third baseman.
Now, it's interesting to point out, Rothy, both times he's been up, he's attacked the first pitch. First time he got rewarded with the hit, came around to score. That time, it's an easy retirement.
Galagowski grounded out to short his first at bat and takes a fastball high for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Ritchie out of the stretch. He delivers. And another fastball tails inside. It's 2-0. Dylan's having a tough time keeping that hard hat on his noggin.
Almost reminds me of when Matt Vickers would pitch for the Hardhats. He'd throw so hard on the mound, the hard hat would come flying. He'd have to get the felt hat afterward.
And there's a strike. A fastball belled high on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. 1 out for Bitterroot here in the bottom of the second. Hardhats leading 7-3. Pitch on the way and a fastball outside. Three balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swung on and a pop-up. That's coming back and out of play. Full count on the Red Sox third baseman, Tanner Galagowski. Here's the set by Dylan. Now time is called. Three balls and 2 strikes. Ritchie is ready. Here's his pitch. Swung on and a fly ball down the right field line. It's going off into foul territory and nobody's going to be able to reach it. Luke Ferdinand runs into one of the batting screen protectors. Count runs along at 3-2.
Wonder if Tanner Galagowski has any relation to Alex Galagowski of the NHL, who plays for the Dallas Stars on the back end.
Here's the payoff pitch. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Galagowski was headed down towards first base, but he is rung up by the home plate umpire. Second strikeout for Ritchie. 2 down, and now Tyler Nixon, the shortstop who walked and scored in the first inning. He is a very good-looking player for this Red Sox team, playing at shortstop. Made a couple of good defensive plays in the game. Takes a pitch up and in for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Richie's pitch. Outside. Count goes to 2 balls. So Dillon would be nice if he could come back here with a 1-2-3 second after pitching to 9 men in the first inning. 2-0 pitch, swung on, a ground ball, hit the shortstop. Bowman comes in to field it, throws to first base, a can of corn. Does Cooper make that look easy? No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. A 1-2-3 inning for Dillon. Good comeback for Dillon Richie, and at the end of 2, it's the Hardhats 7, the Bitterroot Red Sox 3. From the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box, you're listening to Post 22 Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
You don't have to try to hit a home run when you're hitting singles and doubles all day. Consistency wins games, and it's key to helping achieve your retirement goals. At Weitzel Financial Group, they believe they're there to help with your own ideals and goals. Head toward your field of dreams. Call Weitzel Financial Group for a consultation at 348-1152. Kurt Weitzel is a registered representative and investment advisor representative with and offers securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRAS IPC, a registered investment advisor. Weitzel Financial Group, 817 9th Street, Rapid City, South Dakota, 577.
Oh, we're all set for the top half of the third inning. Here in Hamilton, Montana, the Bitterroot Red Sox currently trail the Hardhats 7-3 as the Hardhats come back to the offensive. For Post 22, it's 7 runs on 8 hits, no errors charged on defense, and for Hamilton, it's 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 error charged to them on the defensive side of things.
Post 22 will send up the lower third of the batting order here in the top of the third inning. Todd Stevens, Tommy Wall, and Carter Deming. So Justin Kadanak starts his second inning of relief. Stevens walked with the bases loaded in the first inning. Got his 11th RBI of the season. A wind-up in the pitch, and it's a ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch, swung on, a roller foul off to the left. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in Pullman, Washington tomorrow to start play in the tournament there. We'll play a team named Crew, C-R-E-W, at 9 p.m., the first pitch, Rapid City time tomorrow night. There's a breaking ball that hits, and they're going to rule that it hit him on the top of the head, but they're ruling that apparently that Stevens didn't make an effort to get out of the way of the pitch. Two balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Ground ball hit towards short, backhanded again by Nixon. Look at his throw to first, right on target. Nice play. We talked about Nixon, and he is showing some good glove work here early in this game. He made that look fairly easy. He's got a cannon on him.
He does. That was not an easy throw to make, going away from first base number 1 to make the play. Had to backhand, then exchange the ball, then rip it off. Solid play by number 29 out there at short.
Here's Tommy Wall, who had a sacrifice fly to left center his first at bat. Checks his swing and takes a breaking ball outside. Well, Cooper Bowman far and away has been the best shortstop I've seen this year, but I'll tell you one thing, Nixon looks very, very good. And the pitch is a strike just on the low outside corner to Wall. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. A strike on the outside corner. 1-2 on Tommy. Tommy sacrificed fly in the first inning, drove in his 11th run of the year. Kadanak delivers. Breaking ball, line down the left field line. It is foul. Oh, a fair ball. No, they ruled it foul. I thought it was going foul. Then it looked like it was going to hang in there, and it was ruled foul.
That was awfully close here, Tom. And wow, I really did think that landed fair. That was close. That was really close.
Well, again, that was my gut reaction. 1-2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way to Wall. Swing and a miss, struck him out. The ball dropped by Brown. He'll have to make the throw to first base, so Tommy is out on strikes. 2 outs in the post-22, top half of the third inning. And that brings up Carter Deming, the third baseman, who was hit by a pitch his first at bat.
Unfortunate to see Tommy swing a pitch like that, way low and away. You can even the count up at 2. Yes, you want to see him protect, but on something that's close. You don't want him chasing anything so far out of the zone. So unfortunate to see that happen. So here's hoping he rebounds the next time he's up, and now Carter's got a chance.
Carter hit by a pitch in the first inning, and that pitch is up over his head for ball 1. And the pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled back. 1-1 on Deming. 5 in the first inning for post 22. 2 in the second. And they bat here in the third with 2 outs and nobody on. All 3 of the Bitterroot runs coming in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the pitch on the way. It's inside. It hits Deming for the second time. I'm about ready to make a prediction.
What's that?
We're going to go the rest of the season, and in every single game, we're going to see at least one hit batsman from either side.
You know what? At this point, I would jump on that bandwagon in a heartbeat. I think we need to talk to the handicappers at Vegas and try and make some money off the bets.
Fastball outside to Walker Paz. Walker has singled to right center and then lined into a double play to the first baseman, Omelet. Here's the pitch, and it's too low. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs now with Deming at first base. Omelet holding with him.
However, Tom, to that point, we can see as many hit batsmen as we want as long as they don't come from the hard hats.
There's a high fly ball into right center field. It's deep. It's going, gone over the center field fence. Just to the right of the 335 sign. Walker Paz hits his second home run of the season. Driving in Deming in front of him, a 2-run shot. And post 22 now leads 9-3 here in the top of the third inning.
Now that's where these field dimensions come into play, Tom, because at the Fitz, that's a routine fly out to center field, and the Hard Hats are changing sides and getting their gloves ready for defense. In this field, it means 2 runs because of a man on first and such a short field. Good Lord.
Zach Solano has singled to center and grounded out to short. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, line to left for a base hit. And that's going to skip past the left fielder, Granfell, and roll to the fence. And Solano's going to end up with a double. 7th double of the season for Zach. His second hit. He's 2 for 3. And that'll bring up Cooper Bowman, who has singled to right. He had a home run over the mini green monster in left field in the second inning.
I'm going to say, too, Tom, given these field dimensions, it's surprising that these outfielders are kind of playing middle distance in the field. They're not playing far back. This is a team that can hit. Interesting they haven't adjusted to that.
And Cooper fouls one off to the right, 1 strike. 10 hits in the game now for post 22. 9 runs on 10 hits. They had 2 outs and nobody on here in this inning. And the hit batsman to Deming really opened things up. Kadanak delivers. And it's low, blocked by the catcher Brown. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Line to left field, and Granfell grabs it. He hardly had to move. Bowman with a line drive to left retires the side. 2 runs for post 22, the 2-run homer by Walker Paz. They had 2 hits in the inning, no Bitterroot errors, and 1 man left on base. The last half of the 3rd inning coming up. Post 22 extends their lead to 9-3 over the Red Sox. You're watching Post 22 Baseball on Hardhats-TV via post22baseball.com, and you're listening to the broadcast on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Trusted Choice Insurance agents are independent agents.
I pledge to be your guide, not only to insurance, but to insurance companies.
They don't actually work for any one insurance company.
And to use my independence to identify the coverage that's best for you.
This means they can customize policies from several companies in ways that other agents just can't. And they commit to that.
And I pledge.
In writing. Trusted Choice. You need an independent insurance agent.
Black Hills Insurance Agency, a tradition of service since 1940.
Well, we talked about this ballpark, how it's an old-style ballpark. We are located right behind home plate, elevated a little bit, but very close to the field. And then we have the covered grandstand, a wood-covered grandstand with bleachers. The outfield fence, similar to the Green Monster in Fenway Park. It's 18 feet high, and they've got big red letters, home of the Red Sox. And the dimensions, again, have come into play. 310 down the left field line, 335 to center, and 340 down the right field line. Hunter Omlid, the cleanup hitter, the first baseman for Bitterroot, leads off in the bottom of the 3rd against Dylan Ritchie, who had a 1-2-3 second inning. He works from the set, delivers, and it's a fastball inside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on, chopped foul off to the left. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the set by Ritchie. The pitch on the way, and he misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Swung on, a foul down the right field line, and it's going to be chased. Getting fairly close to it with Sumption. He never gave up on it, but I'm not sure that would have counted even if he caught it, because there's that white line down there that runs down in foul territory, and I think anything across that white line is out of play. Two balls and 2 strikes. And Ritchie's pitch to Omlid is low and outside. It's a full count. Full count on Hunter Omlid, leading off here in the last of the 3rd. Ritchie's pitch is fouled back. Still 3-2. Post 22 playing game number 32 on the season tonight. 28 wins, 3 losses. Here's the set. Ritchie's payoff pitch is lined in the left center field for a base hit. That's going to run the alley, bouncing up off the fence in left center field. And Hunter Omlid has his 2nd double of the game. He had a double to right his first at bat, and lines a leadoff double here to left center field in the 3rd. That's hit number 4 for Bitterroot. Here's Garrett Richardson, who's now in right field.
They actually thought, Tom, that Omlid didn't touch first, so they went just to double check and threw it off to first, but the infield umpire ruled him safe, so I guess he must have. But good on the Hardhats defense for trying to at least challenge that, see if they can get that first out.
Richardson up for his first time in the game. Fisher, while he was in there as the DH, grounded out to short, but got an RBI. And Ritchie throws it outside. Strike? Is that what he called? Or a ball? Thought he called a ball. It's 1-0. Here's the set. And the pitch. Foul back. Now we'll see what the count is. Hopefully the umpire will. Here's the set by Ritchie and his pitch to Richardson. Swung on and popped up off third base. Deming into foul territory, has a play on the ball and makes the catch. A foul ball catch by third baseman Deming to retire Richardson. 1 out. Brings up Justin Katanek. He's the pitcher now, started the game in right field. Single to right, drove in a run in the first inning. Here's the pitch. And it's low and outside from Ritchie for ball 1. Hardhats 9, Bitterroot 3 here in the last half of the third inning. Bitterroot with a runner at second, 1 out. Here's the pitch, swung on, hit on the ground is short. Bowman fields it, and there's that off-balance throw right on target to first base. 2 outs, on to third base goes Omlid, and that'll bring up Matthew Brown, the catcher.
This is quite the battle of shortstops we have here, Tom, with Tyler Nixon on the Bitterroot side, Cooper Bowman on the Hardhats side. They've played some pretty outstanding baseball at that shortstop position. So that's a big storyline, I think, for us moving forward in this ballgame to see how each one plays out for their respective team, both offensively and defensively.
Boy, I would echo that. I don't think we've seen 2 shortstops like this in one game. Brown up, he walked his first at bat, takes a pitch low for ball 1. 2 outs for Bitterroot with a runner at third base now. In the last half of the third inning. Here's the pitch on the way. Low and outside. With Mark Benetti, this is Tom Rudebush from Hamilton, Montana tonight. Post 22 trying to extend that 7-game winning streak. 2-0 the pitch to Brown from Ritchie. Outside, ball 3. 3-0. Lad Granfell, the left fielder, is on deck. 3-0 the count. Here's Ritchie's pitch. Swung on, line to left for a base hit. That'll score Omlid. So Brown has an RBI single, and it's now 9-4. The Hardhats leading here in the last half of the third inning. It brings up Lad Granfell, the left fielder who walked in the first inning, left-handed batter. 5 hits in the game now for the Red Sox, with 2 outs here in the third. Ferdinand holding with Brown. Here's the pitch, and it's inside, ball 1 to Granfell. One ball and no strikes. Ritchie from the set. And steps off the rubber. Now the set again by Ritchie. The pitch on the way, and it is a strike call. Throw to first base by Stevens, but the runner, Brown, is back. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the last half of the third inning. A 9-4 Hardhat lead. Here's the pitch. And a fastball up and away. It's 2-1. Brown's been bluffing like he was going to take off in the last couple of pitches. 2-1 on Granfell, the number 8 hitter in the Bitterroot lineup. Ritchie's 2-1 pitch is swung on, hit up in the air to center field. Going back is Solano. He's chasing it, and that ball is off the base of the fence in center field. It'll be a double. Brown will stop at third. Granfell at second. And with 2 outs, the Red Sox have runners at second and third. And Tucker Jones coming up, their center fielder. He struck out swinging in the first inning. He was up with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the first. Now he's up with runners at second and third with 2 outs in the third. Richie's pitch. And he misses outside for ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped foul, backing out of play. 1-1 on Jones. Nine runs in the game for post 22. 4 runs for the Red Sox and a swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brown from third, Granfell from second. Richie's pitch way outside, and we have a full count. Top of the order on deck, Cameron Rothy, the second baseman for the Red Sox. Richie ready. The payoff pitch. It is strike 3 on the outside corner. Richie threw a very good pitch there to get out of the inning with just the 1 run against him. 1 run on 3 hits for Bitterroot. No Rapid City errors. 2 men left on base. We'll head to the 4th inning. 9-4, the Hardhats leading. Mark Benetti will take over in the 4th inning. You're listening to Post 22 Baseball from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Coke Zero goes with things like this. This. And this. Coke Zero tastes like this.
He shoots! He scores!
It sounds like this. It feels like this. So when the game is on, try it with this. Coke Zero. Real Coca-Cola taste. 0 calories, 0 sugar.
Why do so many business people trust us? Well, we're pretty nice folks, of course, and we really know our stuff. Black Hills Insurance, a tradition of service since 1949.
All set now for the top half of the 4th inning here in Hamilton, Montana. The Post 22 Hardhats taking on the Bitterroot Red Sox. And it's the Hardhats with a commanding 9-4 lead after 3 full innings of play as they transition back to offense. For the Hardhats, it's 9 runs on 10 hits with no errors defensively. And for Bitterroot, it's 4 runs on 6 hits with only 1 error in the field. Mark Benetti and Tom Rudabush alongside you for all the action this season and on this outstanding road trip that we have. Justin Kadadak bat on the mound to take on the Hardhats. He'll face Zach Sumption first here in the top half of the 4th, and the first pitch to Sumption misses low and away for ball 1. Sumption on the ball game is 2 for 2, an RBI single, a double, a pair of runs scored, and a very awkward stolen base. 1-0 is swung on and ripped right to shortstop, and Nixon's there to catch it. So an L6 in the book on just 2 pitches, 1 up, 1 down to now bring up Luke Ferdinand. Ferdinand's also had quite a ball game. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, 1 of the RBI variety, and a run scored as well. 9-4 Hardhats have the lead, 1 out top of the 4th. Kadinak's first pitch to Ferdinand misses outside for ball 1. No one on the base path here for Ferdinand. Playing at first base for the Hardhats tonight. 1-0, misses low, 2 balls, no strikes. Catcher Brown tried to frame it, and the umpire was having none of that. Kadinak very quickly to his windup, 2-0 to Ferdinand. That's a called strike at his knees, and the count goes to 2-1. Jack Sorensen is on deck, 0 for 1. Grounded into a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. Also walked. Ferdinand fouls off his next pitch, and his count is evened up 2-2. Kadenak takes his time this time, gets a sign from Brown. Full windup, 2-2. Way outside, and now the count to Ferdinand goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the Hardhats first baseman, and now Kadenak steps off the rubber, and he'll take some time. That was very short-lived. Payoff pitch to Ferdinand. Outside, ball 4. And Ferdinand earns a 1-out walk. That's his first walk of the ball game. That'll bring up Jack Sorensen. Sorensen on the ball game, 0 for 1, a walk with the bases loaded. He's got an RBI, and then he grounded into a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. He fouls off his first pitch. 0-1 the count to Sorensen, the Hardhats designated hitter. Hardhats with a 9-4 lead over the Red Sox. Here in the top half of the 4th inning. There is a man on and 1 out for Sorensen. And the 0-1. Swung on, and that ball's hit high in the air to center field. It's got legs, it's got distance, and it has left the ballpark. A 2-run home run for Jack Sorensen. And with 1 out here in the top of the 4th, the Hardhats now have an 11-4 lead. That is the 3rd home run of the ball game for the Hardhats, the 2nd in which multiple runs have been scored. The other one was Walker Paz, and now the Hardhats have an 11-4 lead. Base path is empty with 1 out. That's going to bring up Todd Stevens, the catcher. Stevens on the ball game, an RBI base on balls. He also grounded out to short. First pitch from Kadenak. Low and outside, ball 1. Here comes the 1-0. Swung on and missed. And the count evens up to a ball and a strike. Stevens grounded out to short the last time he was up. He also has an RBI base on balls. 1-1. Called strike 2 at his knees. 1-2 now to Stevens, the backstopper for the Hardhats, with Tommy Wall patiently waiting in the on-deck circle. And the 1-2. Swung on and just fouled. And Stevens stays alive. Hardhats now have an 11-4 lead here in the top half of the 4th. Bases are empty for Stevens, and there's 1 out. 1-2. Swung on, and that ball's hit high in the air to center field. It has legs, it has distance, and just making a leaping catch at the wall is Tucker Jones. So an F8 in the scorebook. Well-deserved applause for that gentleman. 2 down, and that's going to bring up Tommy Wall. That brings up number 16, Tommy Wall. So now Wall comes up. 0 for 1 on the ball game, a sac fly RBI and a strikeout. 2-3 in the book. It was a drop third strike. Catcher had to throw to first. First pitch to Wall. Skips away low, ball 1. Tommy Wall is playing in the outfield today. Out and left. It's not often that he gets a snap in the outfield. 1-0, swung on it. That's pushed into right field. And it goes over the head of the right fielder and Richardson and all the way to the wall. He misjudged it. Wall turns on his afterburners. He's rounding 2. He's going into third, and he has a 2-out stand-up triple. And that is now going to bring up, for the Hardhats, Carter Deming. Richardson totally misjudged the ball as Tommy Wall went opposite field with it. He was running so fast his helmet came flying off, so now he stands triumphantly on third with a 2-out triple. And that will bring up Carter Deming. Deming has been hit by a pitch twice. Here is hoping that he does not get the hat trick in that category. And the first pitch to Carter misses low for ball 1. I mentioned earlier, Carter hasn't seen the batter's box in a while, so I'm sure he's dying to just get a hit out here and contribute. 1-0, swung on, and it's chopped just foul, third base side. And the count evens up to a ball and a strike. So I know that I'm sure he's excited to get back in there, and he wants to swing away, and he wants to get that hit, but patience is the key for him. Wait for your pitch to come to you. 1-1. Breaking pitch, called strike at his knees. 1-2 now the count. Kadanak has one strikeout already. If he gets his second, it would end the inning, and the Red Sox would go on offense. 1-2. Swung on and chopped foul again, and Deming stays alive. Kadanak, by the way, just threw his 55th pitch in relief of Bryson Fisher, who only went the first inning, gave up 5 runs. Hardhats have scored 2 every inning since. Next pitch, low and away, and Deming doesn't chase. 2-2 now the count. Tommy Wall is standing on third, 90 feet to his left. 1-2. Swung on, ball's popped up. It's in shallow right. Richardson charging in, and he will make the catch. Well, the Hardhats end up getting 2 more runs in the inning on the power of 2 hits, including a triple to Tommy Wall and a 2-run blast to Jack Sorensen. No errors charged to the Red Sox. 1 man left on the base path in scoring position. At the end of 4.5 innings, the Hardhats now on 11. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that just our second out? Or did the ball drop? Ball must have dropped. Oh, the umpire called a balk on the play. So Deming stays alive. That scores a run. Well, that was very interesting. We didn't see the balk call. It's a full count now for Deming as that next pitch was low. Everybody was getting ready to switch up. And the 3-2 is swung on, and it's hit to short. Nixon gets the backhand stop. Throw to first, though, is not in time. And Carter Deming gets an infield single, and the inning keeps going. That was very interesting. So now back to the top of the order to Walker Paz, as we're all left to look like fools up here.
No, Mark, that I was as confused as you are.
So now here comes Walker Paz. He's fresh off of a 2-run blast, and his first pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to center. And that goes over the head of Jones and all the way to the wall. Rounding third, getting the green light is Deming. He's going to come in and score. The throw home is not in time. And Walker Paz will get an RBI double. He'll advance to third on the throw, but Matt Brown, the catcher, is down. And he is writhing. So the run scores as Brown is shaken up. Hardhats now have a 12-4 lead over the Red Sox, and Tia, the post-22 trainer, is going to come out and have a look at the fallen catcher for Bitterroot. So Walker Paz gets the RBI double. He'll advance to third on the throw as Carter Deming comes all the way around to score. And it looks like Brown's all right. He's up. He's just shaken up, and he'll walk it off.
Well, earlier, Mark, I was watching, and Jack Sorensen got a home run without the bases loaded. What's happening to him?
I have no idea. That was very, very awkward because normally he knocks the home runs with the bases juiced.
Well, we're still taking care of the catcher Brown, who had kind of a mini collision. I didn't exactly see. It didn't appear that Deming was any worse for the wear if they collided.
Well, it looks like everybody is all right. And we are almost back to it. They're going to throw a couple of practice pitches to Brown, make sure that he can see the ball, make sure that he feels all right. Obviously, catcher, a very important position back there. They're making sure that he's all right. When he's good to go, Zach Solano will come up with the man on third and 2 outs here in the inning. We all thought the inning had ended in an F9 to Carter Deming, but a balk was called. It scored Tommy Wall, and then Deming ends up hitting an infield single and he scores all the way from first on a Walker Paz RBI double. And now it looks like Brown is going to exit the ballgame. He wasn't feeling that great after the warm-up pitches. He doesn't think he can do it, so they're going to get someone to switch out into the catcher's gear. And I believe that looks like number 13, Hunter Omlid, the first baseman. It looked like he was going to grab a new glove. And I think that's because he's switching sides in the infield. So if I heard our PA announcer correctly, Tanner Goligoski is now going to move into left field. And I believe Omlid is going to move to the opposite side of the diamond to third. Number 16, Brendan Fisher, the DH, will come in at first, which means that the Red Sox lose their designated hitter. Well, this is something else. I believe moving from third to short is going to be... I'm sorry, no. Nixon's going to stay in at short.
Yeah, they better not move him.
Yeah. What a crazy inning this has been, Tom. We all thought it was going to end, and then collision at the plate. We've got a changing of the guard, a new catcher coming out. Now it's just a fun game of musical chairs that you and I are trying to keep up with. So Garrett Richardson now moves to catcher. Pitcher stays the same. Katanok still out on the mound. Omlin moves to third. Goligoski moves to left. And at first is Brennan Fisher. I believe everybody else stays the same. And Zach Solano now comes up. Well, right field also needs to change because of Richardson switching positions. And Solano's first pitch is fouled as we are finally back to play. No balls and a strike here to Solano, and his next pitch is fouled too, so he's quickly in an 0-2 hole. Solano 2 for 3, a single, a run scored, a stolen base, and a double. In between his hits, he grounded out to short. Solano was Walker Paz on third with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. The Hardhats have put up a 4 spot and have a 13-4 lead. Next pitch to Solano, swung on, and that's hit high in the air, right side of the infield. Underneath it is the new first baseman in Fisher, and he makes the catch. So a pop 3 ends the inning, and I'm making sure that we ended the inning because the last time I thought we had ended an inning, we didn't. It looks like we are all set, and that will retire the side. So the Hardhats put up 4 more runs in the inning, and do so on the power of 4 hits. There were no errors charged to Bitterroot. 1 man left on the base path, and that was Walker Paz in scoring position. 3.5 innings in the books. The Hardhats have a 13-4 lead over the Bitterroot Red Sox. We'll be right back with the bottom of the fourth in just a few moments. You're listening from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box to ESPN Radio Rapid City, the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats.
Great faces, great places. Wet paint? Yep. And around here, when great places need a little love, great faces band together. Each year, First Interstate Bank employees help local organizations put a fresh coat of paint on homes of those in need. A small gesture, perhaps, but one that puts smiles on faces and strengthens bonds in the places we serve. First Interstate Bank. It's you and I together.
Well, there's a changing of the guard on the mound for Post 22. Jack Sorensen now moves from the designated hitting position into the pitcher's role. Sorensen's numbers on the year, 16 2/3 innings of work under his belt. This is his 10th appearance of the year. All of them have been in relief. He has a 3-1 record under his belt, 14 strikeouts to exactly 14 walks, and a 5.04 ERA. So Dylan Ritchie's day comes to an end after a 3-inning start in which he allowed 4 runs, all of which were earned on 6 hits, 3 strikeouts to 2 walks, and he did it all on 67 pitches. So not a bad start there for Dylan Ritchie.
Well, the story, though, continues to be runs, 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 and more runs for Post 22. Boy, this team is hot.
No doubt about it. They've scored in every inning in this ballgame, Tom. That's all 4 that they've batted in, and they did the exact same. Well, they did it all in 2 yesterday. So out of 11 innings, they've scored in 9 in the last 2 games on this road trip.
3 home runs in the game tonight give them 30 on the season, and this their 32nd game.
So Jack Sorensen will face the top of the order for the Bitterroot Red Sox. That's Cameron Rothe up first, the second baseman, and his first pitch is low and away. 1-0 the count to Rothe, who's 1 for 2 with a single, a run scored, and a pop out to second. 1-0. Breaking pitch called, strike at his knees. 1-1 the count. Tanner Goligoski on deck. Tyler Nixon in the hole. 3 gentlemen scheduled to hit in this bottom half of the 4th. 1-1. Just misses low. 2-1 now the count from Sorensen to Rothe. Hardhats have 13 runs on the power of 14 hits. 4 runs on 6 hits for Bitterroot. Next pitch is swung on and it's hit to short. Bowman gets the stop. Throw to first is off track and not there in time. What a great effort nonetheless by Cooper Bowman. That is a well-earned infield single for Cameron Rothe. And Bowman did just about anything he could have done on that play.
Yeah, Cooper, you're right, Mark. You've pointed out several times how quickly he releases the ball once he fields it, and he showed it there. But just he was on the outfield grass a step or two when he turned and tried to make the throw to first.
So now up next comes Tanner Goligoski, and he looks at a first pitch ball outside. 1-0 the count to Goligoski, who is 0 for 2, a ground out and a backwards K in the book. Man on first, nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Next pitch swung on, and that ball is hit high in the air, into right. Underneath Assumption, he makes the catch. Check down back to first is not in time. They almost had the double up. So Rothe stays on first. It's an F9 in the book. 1 down, and that will bring up Tyler Nixon, who's 0 for 1 with a walk, a run scored, and a ground out to his native position at shortstop. Sorensen in relief has registered 1 out on 3 batters. Next pitch swung on, hit to short. Bowman the stop to second to 1 to first for 2. Double play. They got it. It's a 6-4-3 double play. Cooper Pullman, a walker pause to Luke Ferdinand, and the Hardhats get out of that one. No runs on a hit, no errors, nobody left on the base path, and at the end of 4 full innings, the Hardhats maintain a 13-4 lead over the Bitterroot Red Sox. We'll be right back with the top half of the 5th. Cooper Bowman just started that double play. He gets to take the first crack in the batter's box when we return. Stick around, folks. You are listening to Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, the official radio home of your Hardhats. Oh, it looks like Bitterroot now has a new pitcher on the mound. Taking over for Justin Kadenak, who went the last 3 innings of work, is now Nick Slobodnik. So Slobodnik comes in, and as far as I'm aware, we don't have any other major defensive substitutions to make. Nixon's still over at short. Rothy still over at second. Omlin moved from first to third in the last inning. And Fisher stays at first base. And Golagowski moved to left.
That double play post 22 turn to end the bottom of the fourth inning was their 36th double play of the season. Remember, this is only their 32nd game, so they're averaging still over one double play per game, which is, you just can't say how good that is. And they've now gone ahead more double plays and errors on the season, 36 double plays to 35 errors. Just in a nutshell, that tells you one of the major reasons this team has got the record it does.
So now Slobodnik deals a first pitch ball to Cooper Bowman. 1-0 his starting count. Bowman 2 for 3 on the ball game. A single, a solo blast to left. He's also lined out to left. Next pitch from Slobodnik up high, 2-0. By the way, Katanok moved back to right field, so he is still in the ball game. 2-0 to Bowman, and Slobodnik deals. That's high and outside, 3-0. Bowman's a pitch away from a free pass. Katanok, by the way, went 3 innings, 9 hits, 8 runs. All of them were earned. 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 1 hit batsman. And Bowman looks at ball 4, so he'll take the free pass on 4 pitches. So the leadoff man's on for the Hardhats. That is going to bring up Zach Sumption. And Sumption on the ball game, 2 for 3 with a ribby single, a double, a very awkward stolen base. I think you'd agree with me on that one, Tom, and a pair of runs scored. And the first pitch to Sumption, high and outside, ball 1. So Slobodnik having trouble finding the zone and lowering his pitches down. Top of the 5th inning, a man on first for Sumption, nobody out. Hardhats up 13-4 on the Red Sox. 1-0, again rides upstairs. 2-0. Slobodnik has yet to throw a strike. 2-0 to Sumption. Buzzes the tower high and inside. Almost clipped him. 3-0 now. To the Hardhats right fielder. Three balls, no strikes. There are no outs and a man on first. Hardhats are up 9. And the 3-0, way outside, ball 4. So it's back-to-back bases on balls issued by Slobodnik. Men on first and second, still nobody out. We're going to have a quick visit to the mound by the Bitterroot coaching staff, and I think that's actually going to be the end of Slobodnik's relief appearance. So the fun game of musical chairs continues, Tom, and if I saw things right, I think Tyler Nixon moved from the shortstop position to go and grab a smaller glove. He might be pitching, and we understand that not only is he a great shortstop, but we do know that he can pitch as well. So that could be what we're seeing, unless he went to get an outfielder's glove and he's going out into the outfield. Because there is a different gentleman that is not number 29, Tyler Nixon, coming out to the mound. It actually looks like, if I'm seeing this correctly, Garrick Richardson has taken off his catcher's pads, and he's now going to pitch. And
well, Nixon's going to catch.
Yeah, Nixon's going to catch. Golagowski's going to move from left to short. And Bryden Bowman is going to play in the outfield, presumably in left. All right.
Boy, these last 2 nights. Last night, Missoula used their entire roster in the game.
Tom,
I'm sure glad they make all these moves and you're on the
air. My scoreboard, my scorecard right now looks like Egyptian hieroglyphics. I have no idea.
No, that would be an insult to Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Oh, gee, thanks.
You do have a messy scorebook there. Well, it's not any better than mine.
At least I use pencil. You're using the permanent marker Sharpie fine points over there, so that's got to be even tougher.
If you don't make mistakes, you can do that.
I don't make mistakes. I just like to be clean.
I was talking about me.
No, you're a real piece of work. You know that?
You know, this is getting to be a little bit ridiculous, the pace of this game. Um, I know there's a lot of substitutions going on, and there needs to be some time, but nobody's warming up their pitcher. They could have easily had somebody out there taking tosses from them. The umpires are discussing where they're going to eat after the game.
Speaking of which, where are we eating after the game?
You know,
they're talking about it. We can talk about it too.
Well, yeah, but we're allowed to. Tomorrow, we're going to be on the air about 9 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time as we begin play in the tournament up in Washington, Pullman, Washington. And that game is against Crew. And again, we'll be on the air shortly before 9 p.m. tomorrow on ESPN Radio and Hardhat-TV.
Very much looking forward to getting to Pullman, seeing this tournament, seeing these teams. From what Coach Messer and Coach Hurd say, this is going to be quite the gauntlet this team could possibly be going through.
One thing I'm sure they're both hoping that Post 22 can get a couple of runs, get a 10-run margin or better, and possibly end this game if they can hold Bitterroot off the score sheet in the bottom of the fifth. 13-4 right now. Post 22 needs to get at least one in.
Oh, they do have the man on the base path for it. Two men on the base path for it, I should say. Cooper Bowman is on second. Zach Sumption's on first. And that'll bring up a dynamite, red-hot Luke Ferdinand, who's 2 for 2 on the ball game. He has a pair of singles, one knocked in a run. Also has a base on balls, and he's come around to score twice. Good to see Luke Ferdinand contributing in this ball game. I think everybody's had a hand in making something happen for the Hardhats tonight. So now here comes Luke Ferdinand. Then on first and second, still no one out here in the top of the fifth, and his first pitch is a swing and a miss. No balls and a strike to count here to the Hardhats first baseman. Again, 2 for 2, a pair of singles, an RBI, a base on balls, a pair of runs scored. Here's his 0-1 from Richardson. Swung on, and that ball is chopped, but just foul. First base side. No balls, 2 strikes now to Ferdinand. So 0-2 the count here to the Hardhats first baseman. And the 0-2 is outside. Ferdinand doesn't fish for it. Ball and 2 strikes now the count. Once again, a special hello to everybody at Colin Hofer's establishment of Native Grill and Wings out at Rushmore Crossing, watching the game today. Check down to second is not in time. Awfully close. Goligoski now playing short. Was there to cover, but Bowman got back. Bowman leading the team with 20 stolen bases. It is very rare he makes a mistake on the base path, if at all. 1-2. Ferdinand watches that go low and away. Deuce is now the count to the Hardhats first baseman with Jack Sorensen, the former DH, now turned pitcher on deck. Two from Richardson to Ferdinand. Misses low, and the count goes full. So big payoff pitch coming up here. We could either have our first out, fireworks, or bases loaded. And the payoff pitch to Ferdinand. Swung on, and that ball's hit high in the air to left center field. Jones comes in, dives in, he can't make the catch. Bowman's going to come in. He gets a stop sign. Everybody's going to be safe. So it's a single for Ferdinand, and the bases are loaded. And that will now bring us to Jack Sorensen. And, well, Tom, he's already hit a home run in this ball game. He's got the bases juiced.
Wouldn't that be something?
3 home runs on the year, 2 of them with the bases loaded. This could be something special.
Jack Sorensen with the bases loaded.
I wonder, it'd be interesting. I wonder if that goes through his mind at all.
We should ask him after the ball game. First pitch to Sorensen. Skips low. but it's blocked by Nixon behind the plate. Ball 1 now to the Hardhats pitcher. 1-0 the count to Sorensen. Won the ball game as an RBI base on balls. Grounded into an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play in the second and hit a 2-run blast in the top half of the fourth. Here's a 1-0. Swung on and missed. And the count evens up 1-1 now to Sorensen. Ferdinand's on first. Sumption's on second. Bowman's on third. Ball and a strike now the count. And the pitch to Sorensen. Swung on. And it's chopped third base side. Just foul. Ball and 2 strikes the count. That was fairly close because Bowman had to avoid it. And coming in from third was Omlin to try and field it. But it was a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sorensen. He has the bases loaded. And his 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And Sorensen's pretty ticked off about that. First strikeout in relief for Richardson. Bases are still juiced. That'll bring up Todd Stevens. Stevens 0 for 2 on the ball game with an RBI base on balls. Base is still loaded now for the Hardhats backstopper. 1 out top of the 5th. It's 13-4. The Hardhats have the lead, and the first pitch is low. Skips off of Nixon's pads, but nobody takes advantage of an open bag. 1-0 to Stevens. Bases are loaded. On first is Ferdinand. On second, Sumption. At third is Bowman. Today's catching, tomorrow's pitching. Here's the 1-0. Low and inside. 2 balls, no strikes to count. 2 balls, no strikes to count here to Stevens. Tommy Wall patiently waits in the on-deck circle. 2-0. Swung on, and that is ripped foul. That could have decapitated someone. 2 balls and a strike now the count. Todd has a home run under his belt. That also happens to be a grand slam.
Somebody did get hit in the dugout there for post 22.
Oh, really?
Yeah. From our angle, we can't see who it was.
2-1 is fouled again into the Hardhats dugout. This time, Will Moore fields it to protect his teammates.
Todd Stevens is going to be the most unpopular man on the bus trip back to Missoula tonight if he keeps knocking out players in his own dugout.
2 balls, 2 strikes now is count. 1 out. The bases are loaded. Hardhats have a 13-4 lead. And the 2-2 from Richardson. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Twice in a row, a Hardhats batter has chased that outside pitch. So now Tommy Wall comes out. 2 outs. The bases are juiced. Hardhats have yet to play to run in this inning. But they've had bases loaded for 2 batters and haven't been able to knock anyone in. So Tommy Wall now tasked with that. He has a sac fly RBI under his belt. Tripled the last time he was up. And his first pitch, blowing inside, ball 1. Should we get that far, Carter Deming, the 9-hole hitter playing at third, is on deck. Tommy playing in the outfield this evening. 1-0 from Richardson. Swung on, and that ball is hit high in the air to left. Coming in is Bowman, and he makes the catch, and that's going to end it. Well, the Hardhats strand the bases loaded. And that will end the top half of the 5th. So for the Hardhats, it was no runs on a hit with no errors. And all 3 bases left occupied. 4.5 innings in the books. The Hardhats still maintain a 13-4 lead. I'll be right back in just a few moments with the bottom half of the 5th. You're listening to Post 22 Baseball on the official radio home of the Hardhats here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Camping World is here to help you connect to adventure and explore the outdoors with friends and family, offering new and pre-owned RVs to fit every budget and thousands of parts and accessories for any need. Camping World has it all. With over 125 supercenters nationwide, you're never far from America's #1 RV dealer. No matter where your adventures take you, whether you need an RV, parts, or service, Camping World is here to help you every step of the way. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Well, how's this for a wrinkle, Tom? Zach Solano is the pitcher. I never thought those words would come out of my mouth. But Zach Solano, the human muscle as you call him, all-star outfielder, is now on the bump. And Timmy Paris is now behind home plate. So Paris comes in for Todd Stevens. Solano now pitching, which means that the outfield must have shifted around a bit. So if I saw a license plate correctly, in right assumption, and you are absolutely correct, and center is McSherry. And I believe Jack Sorensen has taken over in left field. Unless my eyes deceive me once again. Well, that looks like number 30 standing out there. Nope, that's Tommy Wall. No. My eyes did deceive me. So Wall is in left. McSherry's in center. And Zach Sumption remains in right. Zach Solano is on the mound. Tom, I can't believe I've said that over and over again, and I still can't believe it.
Well, it's one of those games that you don't, with the tournament coming up, Mitch Messer's in a position where he can throw a position player, and you see this happen in the major leagues more and more when pitchers are not used, when a game is one-sided, as this one is right now.
Well, this is the first time Solano's on the mound. And he'll take on Hunter Omblid, the first baseman for Bitterroot, and his first pitch is a fastball called strike on the outside corner. Now, Zach is no stranger to pitching. 2 years ago, I got to see Zach pitch for a little bit. It was very brief, but he did very well. 0-1, swung on, and that ball's hit to the left side of the infield by a diving Carter Deming, and into left for a base hit. So Tommy Wall fields it, throws it into the relay. So Omlid leads the bottom half of the fifth off with a single, and that's going to bring up the pitcher, Garrick Richardson.
That's 8 hits now for Bitterroot in the game.
Richardson's 0 for 1. He popped out to third his last time up. And the first pitch is low and away, ball 1. Solano's got some great velocity, and we obviously know that. He's got an absolute cannon from right field, so that should translate fairly well to the mound. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. High fastball. And the count evens up to a ball and a strike. Once again, Timmy Paris now behind home plate. So if there's anybody you want to be paired up with your first appearance on the mound of the season, it's number 21. 1-1. Swung on and fouled. And Solano has pushed Garrick Richardson to a 1 2 strike count.
Timmy was warming up with Zach down in the bullpen, so he was seeing how Zach was throwing, and good move by Coach Messer just to bring Paris in, both of them.
1 2 strikes the count. Solano looking in at Garrick Richardson, and he deals the 1-2. Inside breaking pitch, just missed. 2 2 strikes the count. Man on first, no one out here in the bottom half of the fifth. The Hardhats with a commanding 13-4 lead. And Solano deals a 2-2. Caught him looking. Strike 3, outside fastball. And that is the first strikeout in relief for Solano. 1 out, double play ball in effect to end the inning. And that is going to bring us to Justin Kadanak, the former right fielder, then turned pitcher, now back to right fielder. Kadanak is 1 for 2 with a ribby single and a ground out to short. Man on first, 1 out for him. And his first pitch is low and away, and it skips to the backstop. And Parrish chases it down, and taking advantage of second is Omelet. So 1-0 the count now to Cadillac, and he has a man in scoring position to potentially knock in, with his team trailing by 9. Solano looks into Paris, gives a quick look at second. A double take, here's the 1-0. Swung on and fouled. And the count evens up to a ball and a strike to Cadillac.
See, one thing for this Red Sox team, they do swing the bats. I mean, they're not shy at the plate. Seem to be a pretty good hitting ball club.
4 runs on 8 hits in the ball game. That's normally good enough in normal competition. Next pitch is swing and a miss, strike 2 to Cadillac. A ball and 2 strikes to count. I mean, you're scoring 4 runs, you're putting up 8 hits, you're doing something right. Especially against a team like this. 1-2 from Solano. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Ball's dropped. First base is open. Paris guns it down to first. It's not there in time. Ferdinand gets the stop. The runner comes home, and he is out by 1.5 miles. Great play by Luke Ferdinand to get the ball back to Paris at home. That throws out Omelet, so there are 2 outs. It's the second strikeout for Solano. However, strike 3 was dropped, and the throw was not there in time. So it's 2 outs. There's still a man on first, and that is going to bring us to Brian Fisher. Brendan Fisher, my apologies. And first pitch to Fisher is low for ball 1, and Timmy Paris got a good block to it. 1-0 the count here. Lad Granfeld, the left fielder, on deck. Here comes the 1-0 to Fisher. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Post 22 with a 13-4 lead, and a great play from Luke Ferdinand to Timmy Paris to keep it that way on the last exchange. 2-0. That's a fastball in there for a strike at the belt. 2-1 now the count here to Fisher. Here comes the 2-1. That's another fastball called strike at the knees. 2-2 now the count from Solano to Brendan Fisher. Solano shakes off Paris, agrees on a sign. Chucks his deuces outside, and the count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. Solano looking for his 3rd strikeout in the inning. Within his last 3 batters. Payoff from Solano. Swung on, and that ball's hit foul. Ferdinand still giving chase, and it goes over the fence and out of play. So 3 balls, 2 strikes now the count. Here to Brendan Fisher. Granfell is on deck. And payoff pitch. Swung on, hit right back up the middle off the cleat of Solano. Paz gets the ball, throw to first, not there in time. So it's an infield single for Fisher. And hopefully Zach's all right. It looks like he took that one off the heel. Just skipped by him.
That moves Cadillac over to second.
So Cadillac goes to second. Fisher's on first. 2 outs. And that will bring us to Lad Granfell. That had a little excitement in the inning. 13-4, Hardhats have the lead. First and second occupied, 2 outs, and the first pitch to the lefty Granfell is fouled. 0-1 the count to Granfell, who walked and doubled, both with 2 outs already. So he has been up every time when 2 outs have been registered. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Excuse me, the 0-1 now goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Oh, and 2 now the count to Granfell. Solano looking for his 3rd strikeout of the inning. And the 0-2. Misses low and inside. Paris gets the stop. Ball and 2 strikes now the count here to Granville. Bowman now moving over to center field is on deck. 1-2 to Granville. Swung on, and that ball's hit to short. Bowman with a great stop. Bobbles the ball. Throw to first is not there in time. My goodness, Cooper Bowman with another great stop. Just couldn't get the throw off. And that is going to load the bases up and bring up Bryden Bowman. So Bryden Bowman has a chance to do some damage here. And Solano's first pitch, low and away. Paris gets the block. Ball 1. Bryden Bowman, for his first at-bat, takes over for Tucker Jones, who's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. He's now patrolling center field. Here comes the 1-0. That's in the dirt. Paris gets the block. Ball goes away from him. A run's going to come in and score, and everybody's going to advance a base. So Cadillac comes in to score. Fisher's now at third. Granville now at second. 2 balls, no strikes the count. Here to Bowman from Solano. Here's the 2-0. Swung on, and that ball is hit over the head. No, Walker Paz with the catch on the leap. Looked like it was going to go over him. He snagged it at the last second. And that is going to end the bottom half of the 5th. 1 run scored on the power of 2 hits. No errors charged to the Hardhats. Bases left loaded. 2 men left on the base path. Both in scoring position. 5 innings in the books. Hardhats now have a 13-5 lead over Bitterroot. We'll be right back with the top half of the 6th. Here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Why do so many business people trust us? Well, we're pretty nice folks, of course, and we really know our stuff. Black Hills Insurance, a tradition of service since 1949.
Great faces, great places. Wet paint? Yep. And around here, when great places need a little love, great faces band together. Each year, First Interstate Bank employees help local organizations put a fresh coat of paint on homes of those in need. A small gesture, perhaps, but one that puts smiles on faces and strengthens bonds in the places we serve. First Interstate Bank. It's you and I together.
Numbers across the board for the Hardhats. They have those 13 runs on the power of 15 hits. No errors charged to them on defense. And for Bitterroot, it's 5 runs on the power of 8 hits. 1 error charged to them on defense. Carter Deming in the back to the top of the order. Walker Paz, and then Zach Solano, the outfielder, now turned pitcher, post 22. Wasn't a bad inning for Solano there. Got a little dangerous on him at the end. First pitch to Carter Deming, called strike. Garrick Richardson still on the mound. 1-1 the count here to Deming. 1 for 1, a single. Twice he's been hit by a pitch. Next pitch skips low and away. Ball and a strike now is count. Solano in that inning of relief, by the way, ended up throwing 25 pitches. Next pitch, low and away. 2-1 now to Deming. He struck out 2. However, he did allow a run. The bases loaded scenario. 2-1. Deming looks at ball 3, low and away. 3-1 now to the Hardhats third baseman, and one more pitch will give Deming a free pass possibly. 3-1. Swung on, and that ball is fouled off of himself. And the count goes full. Walker Paz is on deck. Zach Solano in the hole. Payoff pitch to Deming. Caught him looking. Strike 3. And he knew it right off the hop. Third strikeout for Richardson in relief. 1 up, 1 down. That'll bring us back to Walker Paz at the top of the order, who's 3 for 4 with a single, an RBI double, and a 2-run homer. He's a triple away from the cycle, Tom. First pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-1 the count here to Walker Paz. He's a triple away from the cycle. And is 0-1, high and away, and the count evens up at a ball and strike.
If he can hit one down the right field line, he'll have his triple. I don't think he's going to get one unless he pulls the ball here with the short dimensions.
1-1. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air. Shallow right. Coming in from right, Kadanak, and he makes the catch. Oh, no, he drops the ball. Paz into second, he's safe. It's an E9, and Paz takes 2 bases on the error. Kadanak was charging the ball, and as he went to catch it, just started to leisurely trot, and he dropped it. So now Zach Solano comes up with a chance to knock in Paz and 1 out. Wait, honestly, Tom, we could have 2 outs on the board right now, and the base path empty.
You know, we have seen more poor outfield play this year, too, over the course of the season from other teams. I just can't believe the poor outfield play we've seen consistently since Game 1.
Solano takes 1 high and inside for ball 1. Solano 2 for 4 with a single, a double, a run scored, and a stolen base, and 3 strikeouts while pitching. 1-0. Misses low. Paz is going to take off for third. Nixon can't locate the ball, and Paz is safe. So now 2 balls, no strikes the counter to Solano, and Paz is 90 feet away from giving the Hardhats back-to-back games in which they have registered 14 runs. Heck, in 3 straight, they've hit double digits. 12, 14 last night, 13 tonight. And we're still not done. 2-0 is inside. 3 balls, no strikes to count. They didn't update the scoreboard. So 3-0 now the count. And Richardson deals to Solano. High ball 4. So that's a 4-pitch walk to Solano. And that's not going to bring us to Cooper Bowman. He has men on the corners. Bowman on the ball game. 2 for 3. Single, home run, pair of runs scored. He lined out and he walked. And now Nixon's going to bark out some signals from behind home plate to his defense. Solano 90 feet to the right of Bowman on first. Paz 90 feet to his left on third. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The Hardhats have a 13-5 lead. First pitch. Called strike inside at the knees. 0-1 the count to Bowman. Bowman has homered in this ballgame. It was over that mini green monster, if you will, and left. 0-1. Swung on it. That ball's pulled into left. That's going to drop for a base hit, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Paz is going to trot into home. Zach Solano comes to third. He's going to stop, and Bowman has a standout RBI double, and the Hardhats lead is now 14-5. 2 men in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
Only reason Solano didn't score was the ball rolled under the fence, so they ruled it a ground rule double, which limited Solano to third base. Unfortunately, he would have scored had that ball not gone underneath that fence out there.
So the ground rule RBI double to Cooper Bowman. That is his second extra base hit of the ball game. He's a triple away from the cycle. First pitch now to Zach Sumption, buzzes the tower high and inside for ball 1. Still 1 out here in the top half of the 6th. 1-0 from Richardson. Buzzes the tower again. 2-0 now the count. Zach Sumption on the ball game is 2 for 3 as well. RBI single, a double, a pair of runs scored. Very awkward stolen base. 2-0. Swung on, ball's popped up. Foul territory, first base side. Coming in from first is Fisher, and then he collides with the catcher, Nixon. They both drop the ball. And Nixon's a little disappointed about that one.
That's first baseman's ball all the way. I mean, that's elementary baseball right there. Absolutely elementary baseball. And why these plays are happening for this Bitterroot team that's a good ball club tonight, they've just made some very poor plays in the field. There should have easily been 2 outs in this inning.
So that's the second error of the inning. Next pitch to Sumption is high and inside. 3 balls and a strike now the count. So there was the E9, the dropped fly out to Walker Paz. That was a 2-base error. And you could have had Zach Sumption out to at least make it now 2 outs. 3-1 is low and away, ball 4. And Zach Sumption walks. And once again for the Hardhats in this ball game, the bases are juiced. And that is going to bring up Luke Ferdinand, who, Tom, is just, he's 3 for 3. All 3 of his hits are singles. He's scored twice. He's knocked in a run. Good on Luke Ferdinand.
Other time up, he walked, scored 2.
And his first pitch misses for ball 1.
Now that we've jinxed him for the night.
I don't believe in the broadcaster jinx.
I don't either.
1-0.
Never have.
Low and away, 2-0. Because the way I see it, Tom, is whatever we say has any impact on the field or playing surface, then you and I aren't making enough money doing this.
Amen.
2 balls, no strikes now to Ferdinand. 14-5, is the Hardhats lead. And the 2-0 rides outside. 3-0 now the count. Ferdinand's 1 pitch away from his second RBI, and it will come by virtue of his second base on balls. Richardson deals the 3-0, and there it is, ball 4. So Ferdinand draws a 1-out RBI walk. That will knock in Solano. Pullman now at third, Sumption at second, Ferdinand at first. Base is still jacked, and that's going to bring up Riley McSherry, his first at-bat in quite some time here, Tom.
Yeah, we haven't seen Riley at the plate here for a few games. We've seen him throw a couple of games.
Comes into the game batting .211. This is only his 15th game in which he's batting. And his first pitch is swung on, and that ball is drilled high in the air to left field. But it goes foul and out of play. My goodness, that would have been something if Riley McSherry went grand slam for his first at-bat in a while. So McSherry starts off, no balls and a strike, and the next pitch swung on, and that ball is hit high in the air to center. And charging in, and he can't make the catch on the play is Bowman. They're not going to get a single out. And a run is going to score. So Bowman comes in from third as Bowman in center field dropped it. Everybody advances. Sumption on third, Ferdinand on second, Riley McSherry on first. And the Hardhats now have a 16-5 lead. What do you think, Tom? Bloop single RBI or E8?
Well, I'd probably have to give him a hit, but I'll tell you one thing, that ball should have been caught. It was such a poor jump on it again. He had to dive at the end to try to make the catch.
And now here comes Timmy Paris, and his first pitch goes foul. 0-1 the count here to Paris. Paris comes into the ball game for the Hardhats, batting .310. He takes over for Todd Stevens, who went 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. 0-1 to Paris. Outside. Ball and a strike now the count. Timmy can really put an exclamation point on this ball game if he goes yard, and he's got the power to do it, Tom. And this is like a hat box for batters like him. 1-1, swung on, the ball's hit to short. Stops made on the play by Gologowski to second to 1 to first for 2. We got it. 6-4-3 double play, and that will end the inning. But the Hardhats pick up 3 more runs on the power of 2 hits. There were 2 errors charged to Bitterroot, and the bases were loaded at the start of the inning. 2 men left on. So we finished 5.5. Hardhats have a 16-5 lead. Zach Solano's back out on the mound. 3 outs away from ending this, folks. We'll be right back in just a few moments here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hard Hats Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
With more than 300 pediatric experts in 35 specialty areas, Sanford Children's offers the care that matters to your family. At the Castle of Care, we are committed to bringing in the latest and most advanced technology and services to care for your children. And having the largest team of specialists in the region means your child can receive expert, individualized care close to home. At Sanford Children's, we promise to put your family first. To learn more, visit childrens.sanfordhealth.org.
49.
Trusted Choice Insurance agents are independent agents.
I pledge to be your guide, not only to insurance, but to insurance companies.
They don't actually work for any one insurance company.
And to use my independence to identify the coverage that's best for you.
This means they can customize policies from several companies in ways that other agents just can't. And they commit to that.
And I pledge.
In writing. Trusted Choice. You need an independent insurance agent.
Black Hills Insurance Agency, a tradition of service since 1940.
From taking the win over the Bitterroot Red Sox, as long as they don't give up more than a run. If they allow 2 runs, we're going to have to play 7 innings. Right now, they have an 11-run lead. Cameron Rothy, Tanner Golagowski, Tyler Nixon due up for Bitterroot in this bottom half of the 6th. The Hardhats have 16 runs on the power of 17 hits. And for Bitterroot, it's 5 runs on 8. First pitch to Rothy is swung on and hit in foul territory. Ferdinand trying to chase it, and he can't make the catch. That was a tough play for him. Rothy starts off 0-1. Mark Benetti and Tom Rudabush alongside you for all the action tonight and the rest of this week, as we continue our sojourn into the great Pacific Northwest.
Late starting time tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time.
0-1 from Solano. Rides low and away. Ball and a strike now to Rothy.
Crew will be the opponent in Pullman, Washington, the start of that tournament.
1-1, swung on, hit high in the air. That's coming into shallow center. McSherry's underneath it, and he makes the catch. So F8 in the scorebook for Rothy. He now is 2 for 4 on the ball game. And that's going to bring up Tanner Golagowski, who is 0 for 3. Grounded into a fielder's choice, flew out to right. Also has a backwards carry on his stat line. Solano has 3 of them in relief. 28 pitches for him now. And his first pitch rides upstairs for ball 1. 1-0 the count, with Tyler Nixon patiently waiting in the on-deck circle. 1-0 from Solano to Golagowski. Swung on, that's fisted to third, and underneath it to make the catch is Carter Devin. So a pop 5 in the book. 2 up, 2 down on just 5 pitches. And quite possibly the final out of this ball game here is Tyler Nixon. First pitch from Solano. Called strike. Nice breaking pitch from Solano. 0-1 the count.
Well, I'll say one thing about this Tyler Nixon lad for Bitterroot. He could play in a lot of ball clubs.
0-1. Another breaking pitch called strike at the knees. 0-2. A solid ball player for sure, Tom. No doubt about that. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, and the ball is hit to third. Deming makes the stop, but he's going to hang on to the ball. So Nixon will get an infield single, and the game keeps going. That's going to bring up Hunter Omelette, who moved over to third from first. So Hunter Omelette on the ball game. He's 3 for 3, a pair of doubles, a pair of runs scored, a ribby, and a single. Looking to keep it going 4 for 4. This is the second time he's faced Solano. And his first pitch is low and away, ball 1.
Hit by Nixon, double digits for Bitterroot. 10 hits in the game off post 22 pitching.
Next pitch, fouled. Ball and a strike now the count here to Omelette. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. The Hardhats with a 16-5 lead. They got 1 more out, ball game ends. There's a 1-1. Swung on and fouled. All in 2 strikes now the count. Solano registers strike 3. It's his 4th K, and it's his team's 8th consecutive victory. And 22nd out of the last 23. 1-2. Caught him looking. Strike 3. Well, that's the 4th strikeout for Zach Solano, and that is going to do it. Solano gets a bunch of high fives as he comes to his team, and the Hardhats take the win in 6 innings out of 7 that were originally scheduled to be played. Final score, 16-5. Hardhats take the win. We'll take a quick recess, folks. When we come back, Tom and I will gather our thoughts and get some numbers out there for you. We'll set the table for the beginning of the Palouse series in Pullman, Washington. Should be a great time with Crew to be the first opponent tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, Rapid City time. We'll be right back in just a few moments, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Post 22 wins their 8th game in a row now, and 22 out of 23 games victories for Post 22 as they move to 29 wins and 3 losses on the season. 16 runs, 17 hits, 1 error, 9 left for Post 22, 5 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors, and 7 left for Bitterroot Red Sox. Post 22 got off to a great start, scoring 5 runs and 5 hits in the first inning. The first 5 men in the inning all had singles to lead 5-0, but then Bitterroot came back against Dylan Ritchie and scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first, and it was 5-3. Post 22 added 2 in the second, a home run by Cooper Bowman, a run-scoring single by Luke Ferdinand made it 7-3. And then in the third inning, Post 22 scored 2 more runs on a 2-run homer by Walker Paz to make it 9-3. Bitterroot came back with a run, made it 9-4 after 3 innings of play. In the fourth inning, Post 22 scored 4 runs. They had a 2-run homer by Jack Sorensen in the inning, run-scoring double by Walker Paz. 4 runs in the fourth inning for Post 22 gave them a 13-4 lead. Bitterroot scored in the bottom half of the fifth inning to make it 13-5, and then Post 22 with 3 runs in the seventh. Run-scoring double for Cooper Bowman, a run-scoring single by Riley McSherry, and Post 22 scored 3 in the sixth and closed it out with a 16-5 win. 17 hits tonight, Mark. It's just, I still think you and I should try to get in that order some night. If this hitting's going to continue like this, you could hit leadoff. I could hit ninth.
I was halfway tempted in batting practice today to pick up a bat and take a couple of swings with Coach Messer just in case we got called upon. But like you said, Tom, the offense is rolling. Credit this Hardhats team, and most importantly, credit the coaching staff because, again, I'm going to bring up a point that I brought up last night. Is that Coach Masters said before the Veterans Classic started that he, Coach Hers, and Coach Ewing, they changed approaches in practice. They changed the way they prepared, and surely it has paid off massive dividends. This team has now won 8 in a row. They are absolutely slaughtering the baseball. They're hitting the cover off of it. Whatever you want to say to get the point across, this Post-22 team is hitting incredibly well. More importantly, and I think you pointed it out early in this broadcast, they're seeing the ball well too. So I don't know if they changed how they see things from the batter's box or just how they're swinging. I don't know what they changed offensively, but whatever they did, it's working. They don't need to tell us specifics on that unless they feel obligated to do so. I would love to know personally, but they're doing some great things with this team right now, and it shows. I brought up the stat earlier. Coming into this ballgame, the Hardhats had scored in 25 of the last 33 innings, dating back to the Veterans Classic. Well, including tonight, they scored in 5 out of 6 innings. That's now 30 times in the last 39 innings in which they have registered a run. And that's remarkable, Tom. That is consistent offense. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it outside of it's consistent. Dominant, yes, dominant works, but I think consistent is a more important adjective to label that offense at.
Well, we'll see if they can continue this offensive explosion that they've been on, as we will take on Crew tomorrow night, and that will begin at 9 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time from Pullman, Washington. Our first game in that tournament in Pullman. Again, right around 9 p.m. tomorrow night, our broadcast time on ESPN Radio and also on Hardhat-TV. I have nothing more, Mark, except to say good night.
Good night, Tom. We will see you tomorrow from the beautiful Pacific Northwest state of Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us once again. For my partner, Tom Rudabush, for our director of Hardhats-TV, Destin Human, this is Mark Benetti saying so long and good night. We will see you all from Washington State tomorrow.